Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we are back with another recording of Dishonored's DLC, the Brigmore Witches. Last recording we managed to find a bug in the DLC where an area was completely inaccessible and it caused the game to crash twice. Fortunately, I was able to record just fine through those crashes, and we've made it now into the Brigmore state. In fact, we could very easily be very close to the end of the game. Let's see. We need to get this lamp to the gallery, and we use a lantern to illuminate the painting in the gallery. That should take us into the void. I believe once we enter the void, we are going to get in a fight with Delilah, I believe. That's her name. How were you supposed to have 10,000 coins by the time you're done with this DLC? I don't know, there's an achievement for doing that. And it's totally beyond me to think how you'd pull that off. So we have the gallery that is 109 meters this way. So we're still trying to play low chaos mode. We've got these magical dogs. Can't drink from there. So the dog is not through this room. So we've looked through here, and we need the library key, and we don't have the library key. This is, I believe, the assistant of Delilah in there. But judging by the distance, it doesn't look like there's any other collectibles in this area either. I think we've got them all. Oh, so he's like a character. I have no sleep. She did not discover that body at all. That's very strange.
Mother kept a dry house. So clammy here.
So Brigmore chest key. That's very strange. Two bodies walked right past them. Didn't even care. Gallery is now 43 meters away. As long as we don't set off any traps or anything, it should be fine. As we look here, we are definitely having the problem that we always have in games with special vision modes, because you just don't get to see the game. You spend the whole game doing this, looking for the enemies. And one way you could fix that is if we could walk around these areas with no characters or not being seen.
Really, sister, you ought to have your mind on more important things.
So the gallery is 28 meters this way. I'm gonna see if I can use chandeliers to work my way through this. There's total flooding and such. Here, there's a couple of items. Let's see, how can I get to where I need to go?
Someone should be here. I'll watch for our enemies.
Let's blink over here. Sneaking in here. Again, working our way, avoiding people if we can. Hopefully this doesn't take me to a section that I don't really need to be in. Well,
Someone is prowling my head. Someone who's not supposed to be here.
kind of hurry here.
One of my dear sisters has wandered away.
So we've got a couple here. I don't think that one's going to be able to see me. How do I get to the gallery?
Someone should be here. I'll watch for our enemies. It's only right that I took the drawers my sister had no.
Yes, of course.
It was rightfully mine.
Alright, here. If we go here,
What might this be? What? Here, help me! A stranger is among us.
darn it. Do we have any ability? I could pull, but I can't. Apparently my pull ability doesn't seem to be working. Maybe it doesn't work. They're throwing things at me. I'm out of that. How about an explosive bolt? So much for low chaos. The rats are taking care of that one. So again, I screwed that up. How I was supposed to get through here is a little bit confusing.
I'll have your eye.
Was I supposed to, now with the pull ability, I guess you do it like this with dead bodies versus regular bodies. Live ones, as it were. Let's see if we can make it to the gallery though. So if you'd been able to make it from that section, I think you would have been fine. far as I can tell, there's nothing left here in this gallery room. No people. Was there another way in here? It doesn't feel like it. It totally does not feel like that was the case. Process whale oil, process whale oil. Delilah's note. Brunhild came to me last night while I was in my studio in the West Wing finishing the ritual painting. She informed me that one of the girls allowed herself to get caught and interrogated at Coldridge Prison. Nevertheless, it seems Daud is oblivious to my plans. Well, we saw that girl. Let's see. So we're seeing a nice round room where our final battle may take place. But personally, I wouldn't have believed that to be the case. Here we have white paintings of all the occultish things that we've been seeing, and all kinds of things are written on the floor going towards that main painting. Nice little gallery of all the art in the game, I guess. So, where it opened, I entered, is what it says. Set the lantern near the painting. And so, now it is a painting of all the void opening up right beneath me. Let's do it. Enter the painting. The void. Delilah and her coven are planning something that threatens everyone across the Empire of the Isles, infiltrating the ruins of Brigmore Manor and stop Delilah. Okay.
You have many talents, Daud, and they've served you. Delilah's talents are quite different. She creates images, but she does more. She captures spirit. She insinuates her will into her subject, whatever it is. We're witnessing her masterpiece, and perhaps yours as well. I gave you Delilah's name, and you followed it to this moment. You see now what hangs in a balance. Emily's life, Delilah's ambition, an empire in the act of crumbling. In your long life, I've rarely seen you act with such consummate grace. I give my marks sparingly, and I don't play favorites. But I will watch this with unusual attention.
So we have a little bit more to do. Yeah, it seems like the outsider really does want to. Nothing here to be seen for the Dark Void. It seems like he really does want to protect Emily and cause a good outcome. I think at the very least he wants to stop Delilah for some reason. My mana is low, my health is low. Let's go ahead and fill both up while we're at it. And this may very well just be a leap assassination type thing. I'm not crouching down, so jump.
The void. Time to see what you've really got, Delilah.
So we ended up in the void, which is where we really were before. Do I have any real offensive thing? Just to summon an assassin. That's the only real power. Well, what else do we have? We could bend time. But I think summoning an assassin would be the coolest thing to do. I'm an assassin leader. Delilah's ritual site. I don't think there's going to be any collectibles. But I do believe we're going to try and avoid statues. It's going to give me trouble somehow. Kill Delilah. Well, she doesn't even see me. I don't have any sleep things.
Run out of hiding places. Then rest.
Non-lethal, render her unconscious.
Scream, my love.
Try to destroy the painting. There's a bunch of them. Here's the non-lethal. Let's go this way and see how it's done. Aw, darn it. To the non-lethal we go. So obviously we could just fight.
Delilah's work. She's been busy.
Find a suitable replacement painting. Here's a replacement painting. So, some kind of plans for being made. What is our non-lethal option here? Render Delilah unconscious. Where could I? How could I do that? How do I render her unconscious? I've got no more. Stun mine. Here we go. There's 3 stun mines. Let's try bend time. Come on. Is it the one up there? I don't think I can do this. Where is it? I don't think I can render her unconscious at this rate. I am short that sleep dart that I need. There it goes. Where is she? There's one left. I think a stun mine got her.
No! You can't do this! She took my life.
Who? And how do can I knock her out? I can't do anything. Non-lethal. And we never did get the adrenaline points. I'm wondering if the Empress was a witch and she took her ability. Let's see. What happens if I do pull? Can't do pull. What if we... Let's see. Void gaze. There's no sleep dart. Let's pick this.
The last part of Delilah's ritual. Just gibberish. Unless I finish the other ritual steps first.
Here's a stun mine. She's completely against the wall. I cannot choke her. This is a shrine.
Clever. You might have been something.
So the only thing I can think of doing is hitting her in the head. Did I kill her? I guess I did. I tried so hard not to kill her. She just bleeds to death. Target rescued Emily. Was I really trying to rescue Emily? We missed a rune there at some point in Delilah's masterwork, plus all of the Brigmore Manor. But otherwise we found... No, we missed a corrupted charm also. And how in the world you would have had 10,000 at this point? Makes no sense. I don't even think all the levels added up together would be 10,000. Let's continue and see if that's really the end of the game. Delilah's threat is ended. You've made your choice, come what may.
No one will ever know exactly what it took to save Emily Caldwell from a living death as Delilah's puppet. No one except the outsider, who watches everything and thinks his own dark thoughts and speaks to few in any generation. I've learned that our choices always matter. To someone. Somewhere.
There's Corvo.
And sooner or later, in ways we can't always fathom, the consequences come back to us.
There's Corvo again.
I came from Serkonos to Dunwall as a boy. Made my living as a killer. One of the few who've heard the outsider's voice. I murdered an empress, but saved her daughter, who will one day rule the Empire. Those were my choices. I'm ready for what comes.
So, am I gonna be spared because I did low chaos?
I have one more surprise for you. I asked for my life, but I killed your empress and took her daughter. Something broke inside me. Now I want nothing but to leave this city and fade from the memory of those who reside here. I've had enough killing. So my life is in your hands. Make your choice.
You make an eloquent plea for a man with innocent blood on his hands. It's a shame Corvo doesn't know the real story, isn't it? How in these last days you passed through Coldridge Prison like a shadow, dared the tangles of Dunwall's underworld, and walked out unscathed, outwitted one of the greatest witches in a generation. all with consummate care and skill.
This is the low
How you
chaos
saved
ending.
Emily Caldwin, daughter of the Empress, first of her name, and no one will ever know. But how does it end for Daud, the hired killer, the murderer, the savior of the Empire? It's up to Corvo now.
I assume he would have killed me in high chaos mode if I had managed to get high chaos. Wow. So, those levels, short some of them may have been, felt very, very centered around a low chaos. Much, much better balanced. Because I really did try. I really, really did try playing throughout all the parts of this game. The main story. The Dunwall City Trials really don't have chaos because they're a completely separate thing and shouldn't have been included even as DLC. But the Knife of Dunwall seemed really, really hard to not set up, do high chaos. And this seemed really easy. So with their final DLC, this gives me hope with Dishonored 2 coming out, or maybe even being out now at this point, that they finally, in their final DLC, figured out how to balance the game better, so that people who are actually intending to do low chaos can do it. Now, what would be bad is if I came back and tried to play from my high chaos playthrough and tried my very best just to kill as many people, set off as many alarms, and I'm still getting low chaos, well then they probably swung way too far in the wrong direction. I can't really confirm that without playing the Brigmore Witches again, which it's short enough that I could do that, but I'm not super interested in doing that. How you were supposed to have 10,000 coins at the end of this makes no sense. Maybe if your coins cross over from the Knife of Dunwall and then you got 5,000 for the 3 levels here, that would make sense, because it seems like every level gives you about 2,000 coins if you find them all. But boy, would that be a very difficult quest to do. In a lot of ways, I think Daud is a better character than Corvo. I think the story here is better written than Corvo's story. I like the thought of dealing with the Brigmore Witches and that being something a lot more than Granny Rags, who of course didn't get mentioned at all. Maybe she was already dead at that point. Seems like there was probably less side quests and less levels and less characters to talk to. In every way, there probably was less in the Brigmore Witches, but I like it that way. I think that's the right way to go for a game like this, particularly if you stick with the stealth thing. I kinda am hoping they don't stick with the stealth thing. It would be kind of nice if that was a way to play, but in Dishonored 2 you're perfectly alright with running around and shooting and it just becoming another first person shooter, which I guess would be okay with me, even though there are so many first person shooters out there already. It's a strange thing to really say that, but if you're gonna make me choose between a Dishonored 2 that is a super difficult stealth game where you can run around and theoretically kill nobody and set off no alarms, versus a first person shooter where they're just gonna throw more enemies at me, and the more enemies I kill, the more levels I get and the more abilities I get, and it's something along the lines of a BioShock 1, I would take that. I would take the first person shooter where you run around and shoot a bunch of people. And as long as the game does not punish us like this game did for playing in that fashion, I would be perfectly happy. Theoretically, yes, people could go play BioShock 1 without killing anybody, but that's something some special speedrunner would do, is a no-kill run, or somebody who's really fond of that game. It's not something that you should expect most players to do. There was definitely some new introduced characters, new introduced art, new introduced concepts in the Brigmore Witches that helped out. Ideally, it would have been nice if the 6 levels between the Knife of Dunwall and the Brigmore Witches were in the main story. Let's think about this. How could Corvo have dealt with the Brigmore Witch? It wouldn't have been that hard. It really wouldn't have, to put Corvo in the place of Daud in all of those missions and just have some reason why he needed to go to each of those locations and do each one of those things, and then the game would be longer and more fleshed out, because the main story is kind of short and kind of strange. The level design still has some major problems that I demand to be corrected in Dishonored 2. We don't want tiny streets that have nothing on either side being the entire area. The verticality is still probably a problem. When you play that way, you miss, so many players will miss so much of different levels of the game, because every single area has a rooftop, it has a second floor, a first floor, maybe a basement, maybe a sewer. So if you're going into a building, you may go in from the rooftop and not see the 4 floors below it. Or if you're going through the sewer, you may not see the 4 floors above it. And even though these levels were of the length I was hoping that all the levels would be broken up into, although I think the last one was probably a little longer than it should have been. That would have been, it would have been, what am I trying to say? Like, the Dead Eels here was a little too long, in my opinion. With 7 collectibles and 4 bone charms and all this. So, theoretically they're saying this is 4 levels. It did not feel like 4. I would have sworn it was 5. And the reason for that is the first one is choosing your mark, which was super low. This is the only level where you kill nobody because there's nobody to kill, and you get all the gold pretty easily. So 500 plus 1655 plus another 3,000, so that's 5,600 some or so, and then another 2,000. So there's about 7,000 gold in this entire DLC. The only way then you would have been able to end this game with 10,000 coins in low chaos mode is if you had brought over your save game. Let's play with that. New game, Knife of Dunwall. Let's start in high chaos and just see what it says as far as the intro. So this is going to be high chaos, and let's just
He knew.
do this level.
The black-eyed bastard knew that when my blade stilled the Empress's heart and delivered her daughter to the Lord Regent's men, everything would fall to pieces. He watched me do it anyway. And now the world's gone mad. Plague grinds the city down. Corruption rots. A mad killer roams the streets by night, seeking revenge. The overseers have stormed my hideout in the flooded district. And I'm in a strange duel with a mad witch named Delilah for the fate of the Empire. I'd say I was being punished, but I know that the world doesn't punish wicked people. We make our choices and take what comes. And the rest is void. I can't say I wasn't warned.
So, notice how this goes up and down as it's recording?
It's been months since I killed the Empress, but it feels
It
like
doesn't
only
do that when
seconds
it's
ago,
playing back.
I heard her yelling for her daughter, Emily. Corvo's face going slack with shock. And somewhere in my head, the outsiders laugh. Come to collect on our debt. Did you ever think you deserved to lose your Empress?
I
That a
don't
better man
recall
took
him
her life
saying that before.
while you gaped like a fool? Come on, Corvo. Prove me wrong.
Oh, he broke my arm. And he stabbed me. Interesting.
Damn it.
Sir, Thomas has returned with the information you requested. He's waiting for you below.
So there's like blood all over the floor, and things are pretty different. But things were pretty different in the low chaos version of the main story. It's a shame that the only way I got to see it is by watching other people play the game. Let's see. So I already have summoned Assassin. So I have half a thought to kill like everybody in here. But if I killed Thomas, I don't think I could leave this area. Let's take all these weapons quickly. So yeah, the high chaos is gonna be different. Now the question is, let's see, we've already got level 2 here, already level 2 of here. We don't have bin time, so playing the Knife of Dunwall totally makes sense. So how many charms did we have? 4? Let's see, we have 6 unlocked already. Several of which are already yeah. We've got a couple of upgrades that I guess we never did. We have 617 gold that we brought over from the previous things. As far as mission clues, mission items, notes, books, and autographs, those have all been reset, but the charms and other things haven't. Alright, so let's see, what was the last save? Right here. Alright, let's quickly talk to Thomas. Obviously you can't kill your own men.
I found Lizzie Stride.
Skip this.
Excellent. Lizzie has enemies inside Cold Ridge. If we play this right, she'll be begging to do business with us.
Yes, sir. Your tools have been cleaned and placed in the chest over there. I'll wait here until you're ready to leave.
Slightly different thing there. Let's go ahead and end this
Is
level.
it time to go, sir?
Yeah. And let's see, does that automatically put us in the high chaos mode? Yes, it does. So the only way at all you could get high chaos for this first level is to do it via a high chaos play of the Knife of Dunwall.
Delilah doesn't...
Let's go and skip. So what, let's see if the upgrades have already been unlocked. Yeah, Bone Charm 4 has already been unlocked and all of that. So there have been definitely some upgrades.
Daud, Lizzie Stride is in the...
Skip that, and we are starting in a totally different place too. So there's probably a big reason why you might want to go back and play this DLC more than even the main game, because those favors seem to change where you start. It could very well be the case that where you start and how things go even in the main game changes if you can get to low chaos. But again, you would just run into the problem of having an inability to do low chaos. Or at least I have that problem. Maybe it really does get down to I'm just not a very good player of this style of game. But I like to think of myself as a slightly above average player of video games. And if somebody who is an average player of video games can't do this game, then this game isn't balanced right. I don't buy into the theory that games should be made for the expert video game players, and that particularly when you give me difficulty modes and I play on novice and that still doesn't help me play it the way you want me to play it. But beyond that problem, and beyond the fact that it crashed in the DLC, which is inexcusable and a bug that should have been patched, and here in 2016 obviously is never going to get patched. All they had to do was say that door was locked. That's the only thing it had to do to the sewers instead of crashing. That's totally unexcusable. But I would play the Brigmore Witches, and I would play the Knife of Dunwall first. The Dunwall City Trials is garbage as far as I'm concerned. It's not something, it's just not Dishonored at all. So there's no reason to play it. But if you're going to get all the DLC, you might as well get all the DLC. 2 out of the 3 of them are worth playing. I would not play the Brigmore Witches without the Knife of Dunwall. That would be silly. Would I want to play the DLC before I played the main game? It's hard to tell. It almost feels like you could, but then the difficulty of the Knife of Dunwall would make that incredibly hard. You need the training and the experience of playing the main game first before you could do Knife of Dunwall. And even though the Brigmore Witches was a lot easier to get low chaos mode in it, it still wasn't particularly easy to get through the game. It was easier than the Knife of Dunwall. In fact, it may have been easier than any individual level in the main game, but still, you probably would want to play the main game first. So, that's going to be it for our coverage of Dishonored. I hope you enjoyed it. I have said it before and I will say it again. I have great expectations for Dishonored 2. I hope it comes out of the gate running. I hope it is an amazing game. I hope it leaves the door open for a Dishonored 3. And maybe even a Dishonored 4, maybe even a Dishonored 5. There's no reason why this couldn't be a series that goes on and on. They've already missed one pothole that they could have fallen into by trying to create the sequel and have it come out a couple of years past the first game. It's been several years since Dishonored's come out, and they've hopefully been working on it that whole time to make it a good game. If Dishonored 1 came out in 2016, it would be it would have some major problems, but it was some people's game of the year when it came out in its time, and we have just raised the bar, and that's what I'm saying is I've raised the bar, and I hope they match it. We could use another series like this, and it would be interesting. Now, will it get published by Bethesda is the interesting thought, since Fallout 4 just came out. It is a little close for Bethesda to be publishing two games so close to each other, but I don't know. That is an interesting thought. This is made by Arcane Studios, so it may get published by a completely different company this time. That's an interesting thought. It doesn't really matter. I think Bethesda's influence on Dishonored 1 could be safely removed in Dishonored 2, so that there is a smoother, just easier to play game. The thought that it is scoring you to pick up every single coin in a level is ridiculous. It is the most silly thing I've ever heard. I would never want to play any game that would fill a level with 2,000 coins and then have me go pick it up. That feels like Sonic the Hedgehog type stuff. Pick up 100 rings to get a Chaos Emerald, and it's just a silly thing to do in my opinion. But yeah, I like Dishonored. Let's just wrap it up here. I don't have anything more to say. Thank you for watching this series. Remember, you can click on my name Rydo to get to my main YouTube page. There is a playlist tab there. Click on that. See all the other series I've covered. I'm sure there's something that will catch your eye. I will start covering a new game either tomorrow or Monday, if today happens to be Friday, and that'll be interesting. I'm not sure what game I'm actually going to cover. It depends on just scheduling and timing things that I have to figure out. I do think I somewhat suffered from playing Dishonored twice. It really is not a game that I would like to play twice in my life, and that's really weird when this game wants everybody to play each level multiple times. I think it's much more about the story, and you want your one and first experience to be the one and first experience. So having to play it twice because I didn't record it the first time before I did this whole YouTube thing kind of affected my perspective, but I had a lot more fun with this game than I thought I was going to. I was honestly dreading even starting this game. I thought I was gonna die like crazy and struggle through it, and playing on Novice I did not have as much trouble, anywhere as much trouble as I thought I was going to. Anywho, I was wrapping up. As always, I ask you to like my videos, share them with your friends, subscribe to my channel, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. All of that helps me out. Let me know in the comments if you played the main game in low chaos and if it did drastically change specific levels besides the last one. I know the last one changes a little bit, but I'm not sure if any of the other levels significantly change. Also, if you want to support me, you can click on my name Rydo, get to my main YouTube page again. On the right is a blue button that says support this channel. If you click that and make a donation, it would be very much appreciated. And then down below in the description box I have all my social media links to things like Facebook, Google+, Tumblr, Twitter. You can friend me on Steam, you can friend me on battle.net. All those links and information are down there. And that helps me and it helps you. If you follow me on Facebook or Twitter or anything, you will see right when new videos come out. I put out a lot of videos every Monday through Friday. It seems like more and more as I keep going, and I have every intention to continue doing that. I've been doing it for over a year now, and I see no end in the future. No signs of stopping. Gotta keep playing, gotta keep reviewing video games. So, eventually I guess I will play Dishonored 2, probably not very close to when it's released. I'm still very, as a new YouTuber, I'm still very short on funds, and I have not hit the level where I can buy all the new games as they come out. That is my goal for 2017, however, is to be all new games that as they come out instead of playing old games and playing catch up. But yes, I was wrapping up. So, thank you for watching again. Thank you for going through this. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a good evening. Goodbye.